Hi guys! I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you got a lot of rest. I hope you spent time with your family, and I hope you did something fun. So, this week for e-learning for reading, we are going to do another Mayan project. Now, this is probably going to be our routine from here on out just because it's easy. Everything is kind of in one place for the most part. This week you will have an EDSB quiz, and obviously that will be an EDSB. There will not be a Mayan quiz. So this is a rather long text. We will not be reading the whole text this week. We will only be reading pages 1 through 15. So please make sure that you are listening to directions and that you're watching this video so that you don't accidentally read the whole text. Now, if you feel like you want to read the whole book, go ahead and do that. If not, just read pages 1 through 15. So this year in fourth grade, we have done a lot of work on text structure and identifying text structure in an informational text. We know that text structure is the way that a text is organized. When we are reading informational text, it helps us as a reader to organize the information if we are able to identify how it is structured or how it is organized. Now, in week 1 of e-learning, we worked on just identifying the way that the text was organized, and we did that with the From Seed to Pine Tree text. This week, we are going to be reading this informational text called Simone Manuel, and the structure of this text is sequential or chronological. We know that both of those mean the same thing. It means that the text is going to be told in order. Oftentimes in informational text, when we're reading a biography or a text about a person's life, it will tell the events in order. So our job this week is to identify signal words that tell us when a new event is happening. So when we are reading an informational text that is organized in sequential order, some of those clue or signal words that will help us to identify when a new event is taking place could be words like first, second, last, next, then, beginning, soon, later, following. We could even look at dates. Now, in your week at a glance document on EDSB, there are 2 graphic organizers that will help you to identify those words in the text. I will also post those separately on EDSB so that you can find those easily. So what's going to happen today is I'm going to model for you how we're going to put events in a graphic organizer in order. Now, I do need you to listen closely. I do want you to read on your own the first page, but you are going to start putting the events in order on page 5. So if you would like to copy this one down, you may, but you do not need to write what I write. So I'm going to say that again. You do not need to write what I write. If you would like to write it, then fine. It's also really helpful if you pause this video after I write something and look at what I've written so that you can copy it down if you'd like. But remember, you do not have to copy what I write. So again, if you want to pause the video, then you may pause the video at any time. If not, keep watching the video. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, our purpose today is to identify events, major events in this biography. We are going to put them in a graphic organizer that is provided in this Mayan project. We are also going to be answering a few text-dependent questions, and we are going to be taking an EDSB quiz. That is your project for the entire week. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to do this. Remember, you should be working on writing, you should be working on reading for 20 minutes a day. So this should not take you longer than the week to do, okay? And remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I am here to help. All right, so I'm going to be reading chapter 1, which is called Making History. And remember, I am looking for those signal words that help us to identify major events in the text. And this is in sequential order, so this is going to help me as a reader to identify those events if I'm looking for those signal words. All right, so it says, the crowd roared with excitement. It was the 2016 Olympic women's 100-meter freestyle. I know that freestyle, this is about swimming, and we know that because the front of the text said swimming star. Freestyle is a type of swimming. All right, so it says just 52.7 seconds after it began, the race was over. Now, as a reader, I might be asking myself, I wonder why it's already over. But normally these events end when somebody has won. This is about Simone, so I can infer right now that Simone won the race. So it says at the end of the pool, American swimmer Simone Manuel lifted her goggles. She put her hands to her face in shock. this confirms what I inferred, that she won. So if she's shocked, then she may have won. It says she kissed her fingers and raised her hands to the sky. Then I'm going to underline this because this is a signal word showing a new event. Then she reached over to hug Australian swimmer Kate Campbell in the next lane. Simone started to cry. She swam over to hug Canadian swimmer Penny Oleksiak next. I'm going to underline next because that's another signal word to show the change in time. I'm also going to go back and underline the date, 2016 Olympic women's 100-meter freestyle. All right, so I need to think about how I'm going to sum this up to put this into a graphic organizer. So I know that this is about the 2016 Olympic swimming freestyle. And I can assume that Simone won, but I don't know if I'm going to record that just yet. So I'm just going to quickly write 2016 Olympic women's 100-meter freestyle. And I think I need to be more specific, so I'm just going to write Simone swam in the. Okay, so that's going to be number 1 from my graphic organizer. Again, you do not need to write this. I'm going to read the next paragraph and see what else we can add to our graphic organizer showing events from the text in order. All right, so now it says it was her first Olympics. Simone had just tied for gold. All right, so now we know she did win this freestyle match. She tied, and she'd made history. She was the first female African-American swimmer to win the Olympic gold in an individual event. Simone was overcome with emotion. With tears in her eyes, she could barely speak to reporters afterward. She told them she had felt so blessed. I'm going to take what I read in that paragraph and kind of sum it up to put it into my graphic organizer of events. So I do want to include something about how she was talking to reporters here. So I'm going to say Simone talked to reporters about her tie for gold and being the first African American to win an Olympic gold in an individual event. All right, that is right from the text. I am putting events in order, so there are 2 events from the first page. So your job this week is to continue to read. You are going to read to page 15. You are going to fill out the graphic organizer provided for you in the project. Now, if you run out of space in the graphic organizer, you can also submit extra events in a message on Etsy, or you can put it in a Word document and save it and send it to me if you would like. You also have 2 written response questions. Please make sure that you are following all of the success criteria in those written response questions, because you know the expectation in 4th grade, and we really don't want to lose all of our learning this year. So please follow the success criteria. Finally, you are going to be answering a quiz in Etsy, and then remember to do your iReady. So you will have 2 assigned lessons for you in iReady. Please make sure that you are completing those assigned lessons. All right, please feel free to message me if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.